Afternoon. Andrew living the dream. In the park. Video in the park day. Video in the park day. Well, last time a few days ago I tried to record a video and it just, in my typical wandering, meandering, thoughtless self, I don't script things and it was terrible. So I'm going to take another shot at it, hopefully cover the content a lot quicker and sort of get some ideas out of my head. I had a bit of a loss this week actually because there's been a lot of weirdness. Anyhow, a couple of things I wanted to cover. First off is video content on YouTube, which is always something I have a bit of angst about because I go down a lot of rabbit holes and I watch a lot of stuff from people and different content, a lot of spiritual content, and you get kind of caught up in it. It's really well presented. It's slick. It's not like a guy sitting on a park bench in the late winter here. Anyhow, so I was watching this one video back in January, and this woman who's a fairly renowned psychic was talking about a giant earth rift that was going to happen. And it was supposed to happen last week, and the whole world was supposed to change. And, you know, she has like 127,000 views and 10,000 followers, and gets interviewed by other people, and, you know, nothing happened. Candaloon erupted this week, and that's really a nothing burger. It wasn't a major eruption, it was just an eruption, and there's all these volcanoes erupting all the time, and there's earthquakes all the time, and nothing. Wasted 20 minutes of my life watching a video, or 40 minutes of a life watching a video of some woman talking about a pending earth calamity, and hundreds of thousands of people watch it, and nothing. Pretty frustrating. And then I encountered this guy, Alabar Jones. He's got some pretty compelling content. He runs some sort of organization that's trying to free humanity and from all the bullshit. And his stick is that Metatron is not a nice guy. He's in charge, and they've kind of hijacked the earth. And they enlisted a false god called Yahweh to impersonate a deity for us to pray to, and then he enlisted, you know, Lucifer, for lack of a better word, and the angels, and they sit here and they play with our conscience and our minds, and they got their legions of other angels and guardian angels and demons and lesser demons, and we're caught up in this huge drama. And it's beyond our control, and we're really, really confused about the power structure of the world and our own divinity. And then I watched another video, and it was talking about archons and Gnosticism, and that actually was pretty close to what Alabar was talking about, because I thought, you know, the whole idea of archons and the manipulation of mankind, and it ties into the Gnostic texts, and whether or not Jesus was actually involved in it or not, I don't know. But anyhow, out of that, you sort of go around and around and around, and you get a lot of predictions thrown at you, and you know, you get psychics talking about what they think's going to happen, and you get, you know, astrologers talking about what they think's going to happen, and people getting all worked up about planetary alignments and the year of the horse, and man, I got a problem with this now. It's starting to pile up in a nasty way, and so you pull back and you go like, well, how do I get my feet under me again? How do I get my feet under me? I'm wasting my life watching all this junk. And don't get me wrong, and you know, like I participate in like live psychic events. Like I go and see psychics, and I go to a healing circle, and we try to help people with their issues, and very little of that seems to work either. Anyhow, on the other side of the coin, we have science and technology and stuff, and I like science and technology too, and And there seems to be every week another fracture opens up in science and technology where we learn something new that challenges everything else we knew, or it doesn't work out the way we thought it was, and all the textbooks got to be rewritten because they finally discovered that they were wrong. And everything they told us that was true for the last 50 years of my life is actually incorrect. You start to get a little bit of that feeling like you're standing on gelatin and it's hot out. It's not going to go well. Anyhow, so I don't know where anybody else in the audience is on this, or I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. And comment, please, or like the videos, or subscribe, because I don't really have any illusions of this ever becoming anything more than a hack job, but maybe it will. Maybe it's my escapism acting out. Anyhow, one of the things I wanted to share personally that was like from last week that I thought was pretty important. It's an important lesson. I want to share it with you guys. So I was in a bit of a bad mental state, and for a few days there I was really caught up in stuff going on at work that was negative, and all of it was circumstances that I couldn't control and people I can't control and things I can't do anything about, but I'm trapped in it because I have a job and I go to work and I try to do a good job, and a lot of people around me seem to not care about doing a good job at all, and I have an integrity issue with that, so it bugs the shit out of me. Anyhow, I'm limited in options of what I can do. I mean, I can coach and mentor people one-on-one if they're receptive, and if they're not, then they're just going to continue being incompetent. And management is a big part of the problem, and the whole place is toxic. And so you end up with this negative cycle going around in your brain. Little monkey brains just going like crazy, like, what are you going to do? 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 And you start thinking, and it causes, like, you're losing sleep, and you got these things running around in your head, and at the same time I'm trying to get my feet on me, like spiritually and metaphysically, and try to find my center point, and everything's very fluid and unstable and chaotic. I'm not very happy. And so I go for a swim, and I go for a walk in the forest with my dog, which is usually helpful. Ground. Always go back to grounding. Things are overwhelming and a trial, go back to grounding. Forest, trees, anything. Whatever works for you. Don't stick your finger in a light socket. Public service announcement. Yeah, that'd be bad. Anyhow, oh, I have a grounding sheet on the bed. I guess that's an addendum too. It seems to have helped. But anyway, so I in all that video content and all that metaphysical content that I watched, one of the things that came up was how to tell if a person is possessed by an archon. And whether you believe in archons or not doesn't matter, but could be possessed by a demon or possessed by any kind of negative entity that's parasitically attached. And the question you ask the person that you suspect, you ask them, what do you love? When I asked myself that question, I didn't have an answer. And I'm thinking like, oh God, I'm an archon. I'm you think, man, what am I going to do with this? And so I was quite upset, and I was thinking about it, and this didn't take long. It just took me a little while to ponder, what do I love? And the gist of it is, if you ask someone that, and they should answer right away, and it should change their energy to something that's not hostile, angry, upset, or distracted by the minutiae of human existence. You should be able to see it. You should be able to sense the energy shift if you ask them what they love. And if they tell you, and it's honest and has integrity, then they don't have an archon. Simple. I asked myself what I loved, and I didn't have an answer. That's how deep in the mess, in the muck I was. And I said, well, I'm conscious and I'm thinking about it, so I'm not possessed. But it made me realize what I love. And I think it's an important question. And it was super transformative. As soon as I figured out what it was, as soon as I knew what it was that I loved, it all changed. all the issues went away, all the energy drained out of me. It was profoundly grounding when I connected to that thought. And I said, what do you love, Andrew? Not who, not turkey sandwiches, not my wife and kids. All that's true, but where do you find your connection to divinity? Real divinity, real source. What do you love? Powerful medicine. Anyhow, when I realized that and I connected to that 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 feeling inside, that knowledge, that energy, it's like right away, just all that, the monkey brain in my head just gone. The stress, the the work stress, the concerns for anything mortal or perceived in my world, gone. So that's it. That's my message for today. I don't know whether this version of it set up, but you know, I think sometimes you step on an idea or a thought or a theory, and it needs to be shared. And I thought this one needed to be shared. And in the end, I guess tonight we have another massive planetary alignment. The Earth's going to rip open, and the volcanoes are going to erupt, and we're going to have earthquakes. So if you don't watch this now, you may not get another chance. I'm sure there's a video somewhere telling us it's the end of the world. Thanks a lot. Hit like, hit subscribe, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.